The great e-toll heist that SANRAL tried to pull off. Let us show you how SANRAL's e-toll scheme was a deliberate plan to rip off the Gauteng motorists. Now, over the 4-year financial period to March 2018, SANRAL's total revenue of 67 billion rand was used to upgrade, maintain and build around 22,000 kilometers, which is roughly 4% of South Africa's proclaimed roads. And SANRAL gets its money from two main sources. The first of these is government grants, which accounts for about 48% of their income during this period and is used to manage around 86% of their road network. And 13% of their road network is financed through conventional tolls, and these are the boom down tolls that have 100% compliance, which you see on the long distance roads at the toll plazas. And from this they generated almost 12 billion rand for the 4-year period. That's around 17% of their revenue, and this is where it gets very interesting. The last 1% of SANRAL's road network is the 186 kilometers of Gauteng's freeways, where their grossly inefficient drive now pay later e-toll scheme invoiced Gauteng motorists a massive 23 billion rand, which makes up 34% of their revenue. Now let that sink in for a moment. SANRAL invoiced and wanted 34% of their revenue to be paid from just 1% of their road network users. This is what they call a fair user pay scheme. Well, absolutely not. And fortunately, the vast majority of Gauteng road users who were not consulted on this costly, inefficient scheme refused to pay the e-toll bills, and rightly so. The civil disobedience campaign was so successful that of the 23 billion rand that e-tolls billed to motorists, only 3.5 billion was paid. And this forced SANRAL to reverse almost 14 billion rand, about 60% of what they invoiced Gauteng motorists, leaving them with about 6 billion rand still to be collected on their books, and we doubt they'll ever get much of that. There is no justice in SANRAL's scheme that sought to generate 34% of their revenue from those who use only 1% of their road surface. And you know, political agendas will try and claim success for the demise of e-tolls, but it was actually the civil disobedience campaign by Gauteng motorists that has brought government to its senses on this e-toll scheme and brought the scheme to its knees. And we salute those motorists and businesses who used their power constructively and halted an irrational policy in its tracks. Hashtag moral courage, because the people have won this fight and prevented the state from pulling off the great e-toll heist.